Yo, 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 welcome back to the Hulaham Hour. I'm Kurtis, this is Nick, and we're full of tech problems again. What's up, brother?
Nothing. I have a lot less tech problems over here, but it's nice outside.
Yes, it is. Nick got to the range, and I'm jealous as shit. Let's kick it. All right, welcome back, everybody. It's April 16th. Playoffs are upon us. Couple of leagues. Well, we'll get to that. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning back in. Here we are. So, Nick, you got out to the range, man. How was your range sesh today?
Wonderful. It's so nice to be back out on the golf course.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, I can't wait. Got some golf on Saturday. Looking forward to it. It's going to be fun. It's nice to start seeing some green when I pull back in my house. And, yeah, we're rocking and we're rolling here. So, let's kick this week off with our regular NFL talk. Nick, I think you said it earlier today or yesterday of how sick of the mock drafts you are. And I could not agree more. However, we are almost done with them. The draft starts, I believe, next weekend.
Next Thursday.
And we can put that all behind us. I walked in to have lunch today, and the draft was on the TV. I'm like, wait a minute. And it was like 2021's draft. They were just broadcasting it. And then they showed us getting it. Was the year we drafted Amara St. Brown, which was 21, wasn't it?
I'm not 100%.
Well, either way, it was because we selected him in the fourth round, and the corner that we selected in the third round, he didn't even play for us anymore.
Yeah, it's like most drafts.
Yeah, good lord. So
Career backups.
very excited about the draft. It's upon us very quickly. Very much looking forward to it. Again, good luck Green Bay hosting. But, yeah, so still sticking with, looks like Tennessee. I think there was an article released that Cam Ward was streaming some video games and pretty much said everything except that he's going to Tennessee. But you still convinced he's going to be going to Tennessee?
Shit, he probably already has a house and moved his family there.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with it. It's just blatantly obvious at this point that's the direction they're going. So good luck to him. Hopefully he can help Tennessee win. I don't know. Well, time will tell. Who do they even have receiver-wise out in Tennessee anymore?
Calvin Ridley. After that,
Yeah,
not sure.
Well, at least he has a weapon, I guess. If you want to consider
Yeah.
Calvin Ridley still a weapon, but after his whole ordeal before, it's never really been the same player. So
No, but when you also have Will Levis throwing to you, it's hard to make any grabs.
very true. These are facts. These are facts.
Makes it a little challenging.
Yeah, for sure.
What are your thoughts about Travis Hunter coming out and saying he'd quit football if he can't play both ways in the NFL?
Bold statement. However, I think it can be done. I really do. I think it's going to be a lot more tasking in the NFL. However, it just seems like we're starting to see more of that become more common, like Shohei Ohtani in the MLB, which I read recently that he didn't pitch all year last year, and I didn't even realize that because he had Tommy John.
Oh,
yeah, that's wild.
Yeah,
But anyways, he's supposed to be back pitching soon, or if he isn't already. There's just a lot more two-way players in all sports, and I think like you said, it's a bold statement. However, it's also that's the way he wants it, and I don't blame him. And he's good at it, and I wouldn't want to have to pick either. Would you?
I think he's going to end up hurt by week 6. Seriously, that's just a lot of snaps to be on the field at an NFL level with those giant guys running you down. This ain't college.
Yep. It's That's 100% wholeheartedly true, and I find it hard to believe he'll be able to keep it up for an extended period of time. However, good luck to him. I wish
Yeah,
him
I
the
agree.
best, and I really think if he can figure it out and do it, we're going to probably see more of it coming out. But yeah, I think he'll do well. I think he'll just be fun to watch. He's just going to be super fun to watch. But if he ends up going to Cleveland, which this mock draft I have pulled up right now is saying that, it's just where good players go to die, man. And I just don't know if I don't know. We'll see. Again, I wish him all the luck, but I hope he goes to a team that will allow him to do that. I would imagine it's got to have been in the talks when he goes and talks with these teams.
Yeah,
You
the
know.
Giants already said they'd let him.
Yeah, which
You're really gonna get hurt there.
yeah.
You're never gonna get hit so much in your life.
Yeah, no kidding. It's just like a friggin' sack factory out there. This mock draft, though, also has Dual Carter going 3. It's just such a toss-up on what everybody's going to do that high in the draft.
Which is odd. Usually the first 3 or 4, you usually have a pretty good idea. But
No, the only one that's been
solid.
solidly the same is the Raiders taking Genty. That's pretty much the only thing that's been like the Raiders are taking him. He's going there. Like, yeah, this one even has Shedeur Sanders dropping down to the Saints at 9 and the Saints taking him, which I don't.
Dude, I can see a lot of different places that people end up.
Yeah, and it's been a number of years since we've had, per se, like a quarterback like how Aaron Rodgers showed up and sat and sat and sat and sat. You know what I mean? We haven't had that in a long time. And I think that you're right. I think that's a very high possibility for this year. I really do. I really do.
Because I could also see Cleveland going, well, we just signed Myles Garrett to a giant contract. Let's throw another monster on the other side of the line with him with Abdul Carter.
Yeah.
I could totally see that, too, all day.
Yep.
Thanks for staying, buddy. I guess we'll get you some help finally.
Don't
8
need
years later.
Don't need an offense when your defense doesn't give up any points. So
they signed Joe Flacco. They'll be fine. Their quarterback room looks about as good as Pittsburgh's.
Why? So Joe Flacco re-signed back with Cleveland, and I believe it was Drew Lock that re-signed back with Seattle.
I don't know about that. I didn't hear that.
I'm pretty sure that happened. Why would they have not just kept them in the first place?
Because they thought there'd be something better out there, and then they're like, well,
oh, man, we're just going to keep our pieces of shit. Yeah.
We got Phillip Rivers at home if we need him. Go ahead and sit.
Yeah. You know, all the mock drafts are pointing to the Steelers taking Jackson Dart, which I'm just so hoping for. Again, like I said last week, I'd rather him take anybody than sign Rodgers. But at this point now, I would almost say the Saints might be a contender for taking in Rodgers. What are your thoughts on that?
Have fun. The Saints are such a dumpster fire with a rookie head coach.
Yeah, it's
good luck.
Kellen Moore has got a big giant hill to climb. I mean, I know it's hard to say no to an opportunity to be a head coach of any NFL team. However, yeah, like you said, good luck, man. It sounds like Derek Carr is going to be out for the year. Did he get? I don't know if he got
sounds
that.
like he is.
Yeah, so he did get the surgery.
Yeah, he's done for the year.
Okay.
The Saints no longer have a starting quarterback.
They have Desmond Ridder. Is that right?
It's gonna be great. And who was the other one? The guy out of Oklahoma, Spencer
Rattler. Sorry. Yeah. Excuse me. Spencer Rattler. Yep.
Who was terrible,
to say the least.
Kamara's not getting any younger.
Yeah. This is not as easy on here as it is with. Okay. So last thing I want to check on this particular mock draft is I just like reading, even though we're towards the bottom, what the Lions are looking to do. Got us taking an offensive lineman, Josh Simmons from Ohio State. Doubt it. All right, let's see. Yeah, so that's another thing. Shedeur Sanders. Speaking of him, I've seen a mock draft of him at one point going number 1 before Cam Ward really took that position. But you can consistently say that there are multiple mock drafts where Shedeur Sanders is going 2, 3, 4. Then there's some that have him drafting as low as 24th.
Yeah.
He's just a mystery in that regard. So where do you think he's going to fall and why?
I think the Saints personally, and he's just got so many question marks. Like, no doubt he's got good accuracy. He can move, but what are his decision making going to be? He's not that athletic to where you call him a true dual threat.
Right.
And so you just got to wonder, man. And he's had a lot of sacks. Maybe if he can get some time, but odds are if you're a good quarterback, you don't go to a good team. That's just kind of how it goes.
Yeah, and, honestly, how freaking cool would it be if he slid all the way down and the Steelers took him? I mean, I think that would be like the steal of the draft. Hands down. Doubt it.
I don't know.
Highly doubt it, because the Steelers are at 21, I believe. However, like I said, I did see him go as low as 24 on a couple mock drafts. So, yeah.
To me, I still think Jackson Dart's more NFL ready than Shedeur is.
I can agree with that. Just from an experience standpoint, yeah, you're totally right.
And
Shedeur's only played, 2 seasons in college?
Well, in junior, you got to be 3 to get out.
Oh, okay. So he's played 3. Okay. Yeah, he does. Yeah, you're right. When you're just looking at it, he does, when you can see the readiness in a player, Jackson Dart seems to have it where Shedeur doesn't as much. So, and who knows, man? What if? How much would it blow your mind if Tennessee came out and just took him number 1 or something? You know what I'm saying? Like, it would shake up everything. It would be insanity. It would be. But then, like, watch him be freaking awesome. It's just, who knows? So I love that they've been really in on this whole, like the prospect grade, I believe. How like Josh Allen was a 0 or a D, had a 0-star recruit. Yeah, it was the star recruiting program when they're going to college, and Josh Allen was a 0-star recruit. And now look at him. So there's just, you really just don't know. I will say though, I would like to go back and look at prior drafts and see. I think there's actually a website that kind of compiled like the percentage of players drafted, how long that they stay, and like the longevity of their careers and all this kind of stuff, and the hits and the misses, and it's an interesting thing. But I stated I think a week or two before, but I do think the NFL should go to a draft or a lottery mode for at least for the top 5 spots or something. But yeah, that'd be cool to see. I'm really hoping there's some drama in this year's draft. I really do, because it just seems like it's been a while. I remember there's that movie called Draft Day, I think it is, and it's based about the Cleveland Browns and them doing all this shake-up stuff at the draft, and then that was the year the Browns came out and did exactly what they did in that movie. That was wild. That was a wild draft. I think it was 2012, something like that, I want to say. Yeah, the movie's great. If you haven't seen it, check it out. I think it stars Kevin Costner, if I'm not mistaken.
Stars that guy with people in football.
Stars that guy with people. Yeah, as much as 2014, excuse me. And yes, it is Kevin Costner. Yeah, I love it when I'm right. Yeah, that was actually a really good movie. I remember I went to theaters to see that. Currently streaming on Netflix and Peacock. Check that movie out. It's a good one. And it's pretty much almost, that movie came out April 11th of that year. The draft was after it, and the Browns did almost exactly what Kevin Costner did in this movie, as I believe he plays the GM for the Browns. But yeah, totally nuts. Totally nuts. I'd love to see a shake-up. Love to see that. Okay. So yeah, draft coming up, starting the 24th. Cannot wait. Got anything else on the NFL front this week?
No, I think we got about 2 million more mock drafts to see before next Thursday.
You are not wrong. All right, moving on. Covered a little UFL. We'll probably make that a bi-weekly thing. I know it's Nick's favorite topic, so we'll check in on the UFL next week.
They're still gambling, making less than minimum wage people getting hit every day at 35.
Yeah, that's true. But hey, you know what? Kudos to him, man. If you got the passion for it, do it.
I thought I was sore in the morning. Them old motherfuckers, dude. They got to be crying.
Oh, yeah. Okay, moving on for football. Into some golf talk. Unless you've been living under a rock, you've heard that Rory McIlroy has won this year's 2025 Masters. Nick, you called it again. Good job. Completed his career Grand Slam. Congratulations, Rory McIlroy. That is an incredible feat, and you deserve it. However, you made yourself work for it. You made yourself work for it a lot. He's the only player to win the Masters that had 4 double bogeys throughout his whole weekend. I believe I read a stat that said he had 30 birdies, which is nuts. I mean, especially to finish that little under par for 30 birdies, it just seems pretty wild to me on professional level and at a Masters level. But Bryson totally shit the bed on the last day. That one hole, I forget which hole it was, where Bryson hit it in the water and Rory made it on the green. That just seemed to be the turning table. Bryson wasn't able to come back. But, Rory had to make it interesting. He's got like a 6-footer to win it, misses it, pushes it to the playoff, and then absolutely makes the shot of his career and has a little bit closer putt and ends up making it. So, I seen a bit today, I believe. I don't know. I think it was like a video from the warm-up when they played the match when it was Brooks and Bryson versus Rory and Scotty, and it was them on the range, and Bryson was giving Rory was like, I need to get some
the U.S. Open.
Yeah, he's like, I need to get some revenge from the U.S. Open on you, and he goes, and Bryson stopped and went, well, you kind of did that to yourself, and I'm like, oh, burn. But he's not wrong,
Yeah.
Rory choked. He did. He had chances to beat him, and he choked. So, but again, I'm happy that Rory did it. Like Rory said, though, what the hell are they going to talk about next year? Like, what's the next thing? Who's the closest to a career Grand Slam now? So, we'll have to see.
All eyes on Scotty.
Yeah, it's true. Scotty has, what does he have now? He has a Master. He's got a green jacket. He's won. I thought he won another major, didn't he, last year?
Yeah, I think he's missing the Open.
I think he won the Open because Xander won. Bryson won the U.S. Open. Xander Schauffele won the other one. I'm drawing a blank on which one it is. Poop.
No, he's only won 2 majors, both the Masters.
Okay. Well, Scotty, you got work to do, man.
It's a hell of a tournament to win twice at, but
yeah, sure is. Sure is. We will be in that lottery, and we will go one day. We will be there one day, somehow, some way, somehow. There is only a 0.55% chance that you get picked to go there. So, come on, baby. Yeah, I watched a good amount of the Masters this weekend, and it's the only golf tournament that I will watch all day from beginning to end and never even blink. It's just must-watch TV. I will say the golf on Saturday in comparison to Sunday was night and day different. The golf on Saturday was electric. I mean, people were making chips, and Tom Kim made a 71-foot putt, and the list just goes on. And then Sunday it was like everybody was missing, everybody was shanking shit, and I get it. I totally get it. The nerves, you don't sleep. One of the announcers was telling a story about Bryson. I don't know if you caught this or not, but Bryson couldn't sleep, so he went and took a walk around the neighborhood in the Airbnb that he was staying at. And there were some people out back of this house, and he noticed that they had a putting green, and he like approached the people at the house, and he's like, "Hey, do you care if I hit a couple putts with you? I'm Bryson DeChambeau." And this guy's like, "Yeah, and I'm Jack Nicklaus." And gets in the light, and he goes, "Oh, shit, you're actually Bryson DeChambeau. Yeah, dude, let's putt." And apparently Bryson, for like 30 minutes, just hung out with these people and putted on their putting green. You know, like it's just kind of nuts. So, but Bryson's always been a man of the people, and I love that. And even when he wasn't doing well, he was still himself. You know, he's still, I don't know, it seemed like his yardages were just off all day on Sunday. Like, way off. Way more than ever I've seen him play. What were your thoughts on Bryson's play?
It was kind of rough, but something else I thought about is a lot of these live guys didn't shoot good on Sunday. They only shoot 3 rounds. Shooting a 4th round, having another day of that, especially at a place like that.
Yeah,
really,
that's very true. That, you know, the stamina definitely, yeah, that's a very good point. Very good point.
I find it hard to believe you can say it doesn't matter. I mean, these guys are used to playing 4 every week, and they're used to playing 3.
Right. Yeah, that's a great point. Great point.
And Bryson looked like shit.
Yeah, he just didn't look like himself. He wasn't putting very well. He wasn't hitting his irons the right distances and things. And the conditions were very good. They were very good on Saturday and Sunday. It was like mid-70s. There wasn't very much wind. You know, not a lot of excuses as to why they'd play like that. However, Bryson will get it. Bryson will get his green jacket. He will. He's been very close the last couple of years. It's just a matter of time. You know, I think Rory had the most consecutive appearances without a victory in the Masters, I believe. I wonder who's next on that list.
Oh, there's probably quite a few.
Yeah, it's cool to watch history. I was sitting there just taking it all in. Like it kind of reminded me the last time that it was that kind of special was 2019 when Tiger won his last one, which I think will be Tiger's last major he'll ever win.
Oh yeah, he's got to be done. He's having another surgery.
Yeah, and he's going to be able to join, you know, the Players League now, or the Champions League or whatever it is.
I don't even see him doing that. I see him just doing the TGL thing, and that'll be the only time you really see Tiger besides being in the booth.
Yeah, you might be right.
I hope not, but
yeah.
You guys had more surgeries and most people had broken bones.
It's very true. Well, you know, the car accident and stuff, some of them are self-inflicted. But, you know, shit.
9 irons, car accidents, you know, the fuck.
Ex-wives.
Get him another one. Yeah, get him another one.
Just seen that blip of South Park the other day where they're playing the new Tiger Woods, and he's out there and he's teed up, and then all of a sudden you just hear, "You stupid bastard!" And this woman comes in and just starts beating his ass with a golf club, and it's not actually a golf video game. It's just like a Mortal Kombat type game where it's just Tiger Woods versus ex-wife. God love that show. So yeah, we got the PGA has the HCB Heritage coming up this weekend, I believe, and Scotty won that last year after he won the Masters. So, but I just also seen on ESPN Bet that he's not as favored to win that as I thought. Especially, I don't know, but Scotty hasn't been playing the best of golf.
No,
he hasn't.
I mean, it's still good golf, but he's just
Very
a little bit off
from last year. But last year was one of the most dominant years that the PGA has ever seen from anybody. I mean, the amount of wins he had, the point separation between him and second place in the FedEx Cup standings, it was unbelievable. We haven't seen dominance like that in a very, very, very long time. So, but who knows? We'll see. Ludwig Oberg he's something, man. He's young. He's got such a fluid swing. He's so quick he just puts that club right behind the ball and just hits. It doesn't give you time to have a bad swing thought. It doesn't give you time to think about anything. And I almost might take that approach this year. Too many swing thoughts, man. Too many swing thoughts. So, with that being said, Oh, yeah, I was going to check out. I think we spoke last week about how we're going to start covering more live golf as well. I believe there's a tournament coming up. I am having to use my phone, as I stated earlier in the episode. We were having some technical difficulties this week. But we're making it work. We're not skipping a week. This is the Hulaham Hour, people. Oh, Skip. Come on. Skip. I'll do that later. Skip. Show me the schedule. All right, looks like, next weekend there in Mexico City. That should be a fun one. I would love to go to a live golf tournament. I almost want to go to a PGA one first, so I can say I experienced that first, because I just know the energy that live has. It's not the same, and it's just, I want to experience the PGA tradition before I would experience a live tournament, because I just think a live tournament, it's,
The giant golf party.
It is, man, which I love. I love that. I think it's good for the sport. I think it's just a change of pace. It's drawing a younger crowd. Certain little silly things like they let them wear shorts and all this kind of stuff. So yeah, it looks like they're in Mexico City, April 25th to the 27th. Then they are in Korea, May 2nd through the 4th. I also love that they go all over like this. I mean, I know the PGA has a couple of international events, but they're everywhere. They're in a lot of different cities. Then they come back June 6th through the 8th they're in D.C., and then June 27th through the 29th. Yeah, they also have a good amount of time in between tournaments as well.
Well, when you go to freaking Korea, you kind of need.
But it also, in a sense though too, that's I know PGA has some restrictions on content creation and stuff, and Liv doesn't, and that's what's let Bryson spread his wings on his content creation and such. However, it also gives Bryson time for that content creation. Where, if you're like Tom Kim and you're literally playing in every tournament every weekend and you're making the cut every weekend and you have Monday and Tuesday pretty much to travel to where you're going, and then you're just involved again, this gives them time for that kind of stuff, which is great, because I'm seeing Andrew Santino started a new golf podcast, and it's funny, but he had Cam Smith on, and it was hilarious. You'll have to check it out, man. I forget what the name of it was, but shout out to him, because it's a really cool idea, and I hope it does well for him. So he just got such a dry sense of humor, and the way he comes off with his jokes it's funny. He's good. I like him. So yeah, and the live season goes about the same as there's one coming to Michigan. The team championships in Michigan. Woo!
No kidding.
Nope. I'll be out of town. Damn. Oh, well. So anyways, that'd be cool. It's at the Cardinal at St. John's, USA. It says Team Championship Michigan. Yeah, that's cool. So anyways, right now, the Live Tour, the number one player is Joaquin Niemann, who played well in the Masters over the weekend. Number 2, Sergio Garcia. And number 3 is John Rahm. And for the teams, number 1 team right now are the Fireballs. Number 2 is Legion. 13. Number 3 is Ripper Golf Club. Damn, there's a big separation between first, second, and third. Damn, the Ironheads suck. They have 1 point. Smash has 1 point. And Crushers are in 4th. So Fireballs have 112 points so far. Legion 13 has 98, and then Ripper has 66. That's a big freaking gap between third and second. Wow. But the season's young. It's got a lot of golf left to play. It's exciting to watch. They do their broadcast style is different because they have a lot. The ticker's different. I'm sure you've seen it, but it's cool. If you haven't checked out Live Golf yet, definitely check it out. It's a change of pace from the PGA in a good way, in my opinion. So let us know your thoughts. All right. Okay. Moving on here at the halfway mark on the Hulaham Hour today. We'll start with the NHL. On a little bit of a sour note first, but the The Red Wings have officially been eliminated from playoff contention, so the record of all 4 Detroit sports teams making it into the playoffs is no more. What are your thoughts on the Red Wings' play to wrap up the season?
Absolutely brutal. We couldn't have picked a worse time to hit a skid.
It was.
I didn't even want to see us have the lead going into the third period because you knew we were going to blow it in the last month of the year.
Yeah, like I said it before, and I'm going to say it again. When we played Columbus back to back in Columbus and then in the outdoor game, after that it was like they were just a completely different team. Like we came hot off of the stretch.
The new coach.
Yeah, well, we came hot off from the Four Nations tournament, and then just like you said, we just skid marked all the way to the end of the season. It couldn't have gone any worse. But
12th place.
But hey, it is what it is. So
let's go Tigers. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's get the playoffs pulled. Oh, here we go. Loading. Okay, so it looks like round 1 we got Winnipeg and St. Louis. Who you got in that one?
I'm going to go with St. Louis just because of the experience. I think Winnipeg's a better team, though.
St. Louis has been playing really well of late. Really well.
Yeah.
Weren't they on a really long winning streak for a while there?
Yes, they were.
Yeah, I'm going to take St. Louis. First shizzle. Dallas, Colorado.
I like Colorado in that. Nathan McKinnon and Cale McCarr are just absolute studs back there. It's fucking nuts how good they are.
Yeah, they've been playing well. Colorado's been playing good in the few games I've caught them this season. I'll take Colorado as well in that one. Boo, Dallas.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, Toronto.
I actually don't mind the Stars.
No, yeah. Toronto and Ottawa.
I want to see Toronto win, and I'm going to pick Toronto to win this, but they just have a real nice habit of choking in Game 7s.
They do, and I'm in the same exact boat with you on that one. I want to see them win because it's been a very long time since the Maple Leafs have really won. You know, I remember when somebody a few years back put the team up for sale on Craigslist for $50 or some shit. It's like, so it's been a long time coming, but yeah, I'm gonna take Toronto as well. You got Tampa Bay and Florida. That'll be a good. That's a good way to kick off the playoffs. An in-state rival. Who you got?
Well, it kind of depends on injuries, but I'm gonna roll with Florida again.
Yeah.
But if Vasilevsky is playing like he is right now, they're going to be real hard to beat.
They were just so much fun to watch last year in the playoffs, the Florida Panthers. Were they not? They were just.
They were, and they got some huge injuries out. Sam Bennett's out. Kachuk's out.
Yeah.
Marchand's out there by himself. At least Reinhardt's still playing.
Yeah, for sure. But I'm gonna take Tampa in this one just because, like you just stated, the injuries are immense and it's hard to really overcome that. So, yeah, I'll take. I'm gonna take Tampa. All right, so I think then that would put. Yeah, you'd have Winnipeg versus Colorado in round 2. Who would you take in that one?
Winnipeg gets to round 2. I think Winnipeg's going to beat them.
Or I'm sorry, we would have had St. Louis,
Louis,
Colorado. I apologize, St. Louis, Colorado. So
I still like St. Louis.
Yeah, I like St. Louis too. They're just hot right now. And then that would put us with Toronto. Well, for you, it would be Toronto, Florida. Who would you take in that one?
If Florida gets their guys back in mid-first round like they're supposed to, then I'm going to roll with Florida.
Okay. Then you'd have a Florida, St. Louis. I believe that would be... Or wait, shit.
Yeah, on that side.
Yes.
It's only half.
This is just messed up. I'm a shit here. But anyways, who would you take, St. Louis or Florida?
Florida.
All right, so you'd have Florida in the Stanley Cup.
Okay. Got to
Okay.
be able to wear my Kachuk around and find out shirt and Bob for president.
Love it. All right, moving on. Wait, no, hang on.
Still got the other half.
No, I think, though, some of those teams were in the West and some of them were in the East. Yeah, I think I did this ass backwards. It was St. Yeah, I did. Again, chock full of tech issues. Okay, let's just go over the first round games then. And hopefully next week my computer stops having a frickin' tantrum. Okay. Vegas, Minnesota, who you got?
I'm going to roll with Vegas.
Rock on. Yeah, that's who I'm going to take. I like them. I've always liked Vegas ever since they became a team. I just thought I just liked watching them. They've just been fun to watch. You got the LA Kings versus Edmonton.
Give me Connor McDavid for 500.
Yeah, it's hard to bet against him. He's just such a freaking monster, especially if right now he's just unbelievable player to watch play. Washington, Montreal.
Give me Ovi.
Yeah, dude, I really think they're my favorite to win the whole thing this year.
And their team just looks good.
Their team looks good. They're having the momentum from Ovechkin's record thing. There's so much energy and with the Capitals right now. It's really hard to bet against them. It really is. So, yeah, I would definitely take Washington. And then we got Carolina versus the Devils.
The real devil worshippers.
I
like the Hurricanes in that one.
Yeah, Hurricanes look good when they played against Detroit recently. So, yeah, I would take Carolina as well. Okay, so overall, who you got in the Stanley Cup Finals?
Well, I got Florida going for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not really sure on the other side, to be honest. It's kind of more of a crapshoot to me than what that is.
Yeah, I think I could see. I'm going to call Edmonton versus Washington for my Stanley Cup final matchup.
All right.
That's what I'm going to call. And I'm going to have Washington winning it all in 6 games.
I don't know if Washington will make it that far. I got Florida winning. Going back-to-back ships.
It'd be legit.
It'd be awesome.
Legit, but so if the Washington won this year, do you think Ovechkin was hanging up?
Yes.
Do you think he's going to hang it up no matter what?
I think it's a real possibility.
It's just, it's kind of like, not. What else does he have to accomplish, I guess? Because he's not going to break the assist record or the points record.
No.
And he's already won a Stanley Cup. And he's to make it to his age, which I think we said he's 38, is that right? I believe.
Yeah.
To make it to his age, or 39, to make it to his age, which ain't far off from us, but playing NHL at the level that he has for that long and come out without a lifelong injury, just cash your chips in while you're ahead, Mr. Ovechkin. It's like you're the all-time leading scorer in the NHL. I mean, as much fun as it would be to watch, I just would hate to, he'd have this miraculous season, and then, like if he either gets hurt next year or what might happen, who knows? But I would love to see him go out on top.
It's kind of like, to me, like a LeBron situation. He might be old, but when you're still putting up the numbers like that and you haven't diminished, it's hard to judge either way.
It's hard to hang it up. Yep.
It is. I could see if he got, 20 goals this year for the first time ever in his life. Like, okay.
Right.
But no, he's got 40 goals.
Yeah. Yeah, he's been killing it, man.
So it'll be up to him, but I could really see him hanging it up after breaking the record.
So, yeah, wrapping up with NHL. Looking forward to the playoffs. It's always fun. Very much looking forward to the playoffs. Moving on to the NBA and a team of ours that actually made the playoffs. Pistons. Playing the Knicks. Pistons haven't made the playoffs since 2019. It's good to be back. Congratulations to them. Cade Cunningham, I wish you guys all the best of luck. I'm hoping we can do. We're 3-1 versus the Knicks this year. which is great. I know the Knicks battled their injuries all season too, and it seems like they're healthy again for the most part, from what I'm understanding.
Yeah, Brunson's back. He's fine.
So we'll have to see. But I definitely would love to see the Pistons take it. It would be super, super awesome. All right. So I think we called some NBA championship calls last week. So we will just go through first round here because there's still a couple play-in games left. And, yeah, let's get to it. So Rockets and Golden State. Who you got?
I kind of like Golden State right now. They're hot. Jimmy Butler's playoff Jimmy for a reason.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think I saw in the play-in game last night that between Curry and Butler, they had 75 points.
Yeah, pretty close.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. And, they've been fun to watch, and they're hot now. They've been hot since they picked up Jimmy Butler. So, yeah, give me Golden State.
Butler almost had a triple-double last night.
Nuts.
37 points, I think 8 rebounds, and like 7 assists. He's a guard.
Yeah, unbelievable. All right, we got Denver and Clippers. Who you got?
That's going to be an interesting series. Give me the Clippers in that, with Denver firing their coach.
Yeah, I know.
I think that just fucked their season.
Unbelievable. Like, I mean, I understand, like, the Suns doing it because of all the talent they had and they didn't make the playoffs. But for the Nuggets to be the 4th seed in the West and to do that at the time that they did it, there must have been some underlying issues going on besides that because it just doesn't seem – that just blew my mind when I read that headline.
Yeah, a guy has you in the playoffs every year. He brought a ship home to the city.
Yeah, I am going to take the Nuggets, though, just because Joker's playing out of his mind still. He averaged a triple-double this season again.
He always does.
Freaking insane to me. It's unbelievable the talent that dude has. So I'm going to take Nuggets. So Lakers, T-Wolves. Lay it on, man.
I like the Lakers, but they're so hit and miss right now.
Yeah.
But so are the T-Wolves.
Yeah.
Both teams could be up by 30 and still lose the game very easily.
Yep, it could go 7 games for sure.
Give me the Lakers, though.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Lakers, too. I still want to see, LeBron's he's at the tail end of his career. He's broken a bunch of records, this, that, and the other thing. He's got his championships and stuff. He's still fun to watch, but, we don't have much time left to watch him. So, yeah. Okay. And then Cleveland and OKC, their play-in games are tonight between the Kings and the Mavs and the Bulls and the Heat. So, but I'm pretty sure me and you would both take Cleveland in that game and OKC, no matter who they're playing.
Yeah, so, for sure. And there's still a more play-in game on Friday.
Yeah. So, all right, Pacers-Bucks.
Give me the Bucks right now, but the Pacers are, I don't know. I think that series is going to be fun to watch. It's going to be very fast-paced.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be a lot of scoring.
Yeah. Yep. I completely can see that. I know Bucks are just fun to watch, too. Giannis is he's a freak, man. When I got to see him play live one year, it was incredible. I mean, the NBA players are large, but in person, dude, it's TV does not do justice to how big those dudes really freaking are, man. I mean, they're huge humans. They're really large humans. Boston, Orlando.
I can't pick Orlando in that.
No, me either. It's definitely going to be Boston. So, and I am going to take Pistons over the Knicks, not only because I'm biased, but also because I genuinely do think that the Pistons can beat the Knicks. I do. What are your thoughts?
I absolutely think we can beat the Knicks. As for the rounds after, not so much. But we can definitely beat the Knicks.
I still think that it's not like – so if we beat the Knicks, we're more than likely going to play the Celtics. And I wholeheartedly believe that we can compete with them and at least it's not going to be like 120 to 80 games. it's going to be close games. It's playoff basketball. Yeah, we don't have a lot of experience in the coaching department or the player department in the playoffs right now, but Pistons played well this year. They just have. They've been resilient. They've been in close games all year and been able to come out in a lot of them. So to not only make the playoffs, but to make the playoffs and not a playoff play-in game type scenario, it's huge. So hats off to the Pistons because they've made big leaps and bounds as to heading in the right direction. So
Absolutely. But have you watched Boston play much this year?
A little bit.
Because I've watched quite a few of their games, and it doesn't matter who they play. If they get on, they're going to put up 140.
Yeah. Yeah, when they're on, they're on.
It's unbelievable when they get hot from three, and they shoot a million of them.
Yeah.
1 through 5 shoot threes, too. That's what's fucked up.
Yeah. Oh, all right. You got anything else on NBA?
I don't.
All right. So moving on to our final topic here this week. Major League Baseball. It's in full swing. Tigers bumped down to second place. They're 10-8 in the American League Central. Cleveland is at 9-7, so they're actually tied for first. I apologize. They are 6-4 in their last 10. But they are 5-1 at home, which is great. It means we're playing very well at home, but on the road we're 5-7. So definitely got to get it together on the road. But I believe I seen like Torkelson hit another home run the other day, and seems like we're firing on all cylinders. It seems like our pitching rotation is a rotation again, and the White Sox still suck. So yeah.
Dude, every article I read about them is, are they going to break the worst record from last year?
Dude, they're already they're right now on pay. They're 4-12. It's 250. What were they last year?
Dude, I think they had like 18 wins or something, 18 or 20. No, it had to be more than that.
Yeah, I think they were like 40 and 120 or something like that.
Still insane.
Oh, but that's what they're on pace to do again.
Yeah.
Like, legitimately the same exact record. Did they not make any offseason? Did they bring back literally everybody the same after that dumpster fire of a season?
That's kind of what it sounds like.
Wow.
$41 and $121. A
Yeah,
.252 winning percentage.
Yeah, 250, and they're at 250 right now, so technically they're on pace to do worse.
Yeah, here we go.
Wow.
I love it. They're in our division. That's easy wins to rack up.
It is.
It's a long season.
Very long season. It seems like, everybody else is pretty competitive except the White Sox in the American League Central right now. Twins are 7-12, Royals are 8-10,
That was last year, though. We got a good division.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, the American League West is off to a pretty hot start, too.
Yeah, it's early, but, 2 months from now, everything will even out a little bit.
For sure. Pirates are off to a garbage start. So are the Rockies are 3-14.
Okay, but look at the Rockies division. I'm pretty sure they sent in a slip to MLB asking if they could change divisions because this is bullshit.
Yeah, the Padres are 15-4, the Giants are 12-5, the Dodgers are 13-6, the Diamondbacks are 10-7, and the Rockies have won 3 games.
Yeah. They're like, we quit.
Dude.
Move us divisions or we quit.
Dude. Oh my God. That's just awful. But I can't even think, like, the divisions are all even. It's like, get better. It's just like, oh man. All right. Well, yeah. So again, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning in again this week to the Hulaham Hour. We really appreciate all the support. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe all of our shit. Nick, you got anything else?
I don't, man.
All right, bro. Well, until next time, Hulahamies, we are Hulaham out.